Hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to another live Manchester United news update show on the channel. And we have lots and lots to talk about in today's video. Obviously, it's not the best feeling to be a Manchester United fan right now. I think we can all agree on that. I mean, the positives is that Liverpool loss, that Spurs drop points. But the negatives is there is a big problem at Manchester United, and there seems to be a bit of an attitude problem between players in the squad at the moment, which I do want to talk about. My laptop's being really annoying. Work. Okay. Do smash a like on the video and do subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. I've got a couple of things to talk about. I have been told that Donny van der Beek will be starting tomorrow versus Burnley. Let's hope that's true. The last few things I have been told did happen. So I've been told that Donny will be starting versus Burnley. I will be giving you my thoughts on the attitude problem at Manchester United and players complaining that Ragnick's training sessions are too hard and too long. That does sound a bit wrong, but you know what I mean. As in, the training sessions are hard and it's a long day. And these players, as Gary Neville said, are a bunch of whinge bags. We've got lots and lots to talk about, but please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new as well. The first report I want to talk about is a report about Ronaldo leaving Manchester United. Now, first of all, if we don't get top four, I believe Ronaldo will leave. If Manchester United do not get top four, I believe Cristiano Ronaldo will leave Manchester United. With the way Spurs are going, with the way Arsenal are going, and with the way we're going, we might not get top four. There was a report by Depo Montevideo, that Spanish one. I've not pronounced their name right. But there was a report from Spain that apparently Cristiano Ronaldo was going to leave Manchester United and, in fact, join Barcelona. Now, I'm not going to give this story too much time because it just sounds like an absolute load of bull crap, because why would Cristiano Ronaldo go to Barcelona? Do you know what I mean? But I do want to say, if we don't get top four, I could see Cristiano Ronaldo leaving Manchester United. But again, the story about Cristiano Ronaldo going to Barcelona, personally, that Spanish report I think was an absolute load of crap. Why would he go to Barcelona? Because they're actually worse than Manchester United and not in the Champions League. However, if we don't get top four, I generally believe that Ronaldo will leave. And there's a lot of articles saying that Ronaldo will go if we don't get top four. Now, United are in a bit of a situation, guys, and I will get through some live chats in just a second. So any thoughts, any questions, do pop them down below. But United are in a bit of a situation where Cavani's leaving in 2022, Martial's leaving in 2022, and if we lose Ronaldo, then he leaves. If we don't get top four, then Ronaldo leaves in 2022. So, Deportivo, that's the source. But what I mean is, if we lose Ronaldo, Cavani, and Martial in 2022, we're going to need a striker. And we're going to need a striker real bad. Now, I love Mason Greenwood. He's brilliant. I think Mason Greenwood's an absolutely brilliant player. But Rashford ain't a striker. Elanga, too early to tell. Do you think we're going to get Haaland if we don't get top four? Not a chance. Do you think we're going to get anyone we want if we don't get top four? Not a chance. Now, of course, there's Julian Alvarez that we're linked to for £17 million that we put a bid in, apparently. And there's also the guy that's absolutely tearing up in the Italian league called Dusan Vlahovic. Probably said his name wrong. And Di Marzio said that Vlahovic, I'm just going to call him Dusan because I'm not going to say his name right, let's be honest. Says Dusan's agents think that Manchester United, Spurs and Man City are more sustainable projects than Arsenal, and he does United's sustainable project. I think in the summer we'll be getting a striker, because as much as I'd like Martial to stay, as much as I like Ronaldo to stay, as much as I like Cavani to stay, we're going to lose two of the three of those players at least in 2022. And Martial was set to go to Sevilla. United did reject the loan move for Martial from Sevilla because Sevilla were only willing to pay half of Martial's wages, and I think United have rejected that one because they saw how shocking our front four was versus Newcastle and 2, because we'd absolutely be getting mugged off, loaning Martial out and paying half his wages. Like, Martial is a good player, whether you like him or not. Now, what I do want to say is, if I'm Anthony Martial, he's made his decision up, he wants to leave. But if I'm Anthony Martial, and I would seriously stay at United. Do you know why I'd stay at United if I was Anthony Martial? Because that front four is playing absolutely crap that he's going to be given a chance. And if he gets given a chance to play well, he's cemented in the front four. Every single player at Manchester United gets a fresh start under Ralf Rangnick. Every single player at Manchester United is getting a fresh start under Ralf Rangnick. And this includes Anthony Martial. He's decided he wants to leave, so Ralf Rangnick isn't going to give him the time of day. But when you look at that front four, the form they're in, and actually, I want to say something about the front four, that needed Martial. And I'm not jumping on this bandwagon of, oh, Rashford's poor, Martial's better now. I've said from day dot that Martial's a good player and he links up the play. I've said I've always prefer Martial, Greenwood, and Ronaldo as a front three to Rashford, Greenwood, and Ronaldo as front three because Martial can, pass better. He's not as selfish as Rashford. He's not as selfish as Greenwood. And I think we could have really used Martial. And my analysis of the Newcastle game was, I love Greenwood, I love Rashford, I love Ronaldo, I love Bruno. I'm not one of those fans turning on them. They've had a few poor games. It's poor form. Like, let's be honest, a lot of our attackers are in poor form, but let's not act like our attack is finished. There are idiots out there on social media acting like the Manchester United attack is finished. No, we're on poor form. But they don't link up. Ronaldo, Rashford, and Greenwood is never going to work as a front three. Ronaldo, Rashford, Greenwood, and Bruno has never worked as a front four, and it's never going to work. Because Ronaldo, Rashford, and Greenwood are greedy kind of players that want the glory, they want to score the goals. Bruno likes to get the glory, get the goals, get the assists. The problem is, when we get the ball in the front four, the movement is awful. There's no quick 1-2s, there's no patterns of play because all four players are kind of sort of selfish-minded players, You need, if it was Sancho on the right instead of Greenwood and Martial on the left instead of Rashford, then that would be a better front four. Like, that's common knowledge. That would be a better front four. Cavani made it a better front four. Because whether you like Martial or not, prime Martial was doing those quick 1-2s with Rashford. How good was Martial when he's good? How good is he with those quick 1-2s? How good is his movement? How good is he at finding space? And that's what United need. I like that front four, but not together. They don't work. Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe are the best front three on world football on paper. But the best front three on world football is Salah, Mane, and Firmino. Salah, Mane, and Firmino are better than Neymar, Mbappe, and Messi. Do you know why they're better? Because they link up well and play better as a team. They're not individuals. And we have 4 brilliant individuals playing an attack at Manchester United. We have 4 absolute brilliant individuals playing attack at Manchester United. They're all playing crap because they can't play together. They don't work together. And that is the problem at Manchester United. And I just think that Martial would be a good addition. I think maybe Donny would be a good addition. I think maybe even, Cavani was a good addition. I just think it needs to change, and we need some players that are a little bit less selfish, or just players that work together. And maybe Ragnick can teach Rashford to play with Ronaldo and Greenwood to play with Ronaldo. But let's be honest, Mason Greenwood was a better player before Ronaldo arrived. And this is not me saying Ronaldo's made us worse. Ronaldo has not made us worse. I'm not one of the deluded fans that's going to blame Ronaldo for our downfall. But Mason Greenwood doesn't look as good next to Ronaldo than he does on his own because he likes the glory. Him and Ronaldo are 2 similar players. We need players that can work with other players, and that's what we lack at Manchester United, if you get what I'm trying to say. As well, we need Mesut Ozil instead of Rashford, says Shajul. Mesut Ozil absolutely finished. I mean, prime Mesut Ozil would absolutely love him in the squad, but he's absolutely finished. So I disagree with that comment. Guys, please do smash a like on the video if you haven't already. And of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, make sure you're subscribed, as the January transfer window opens in 2 days, guys. And I'm looking at the way Manchester United are playing and the threat to top 4. I'm sure that we could be doing some January transfer spending, so do subscribe as well. Samuel says Matic and Van der Beek. Would I'd like to see Matic and Van der Beek tomorrow? I thought Scott McTominay was actually one of our better players against Newcastle. I've been quite harsh on Scott McTominay because he has been atrocious. And I've been harsh on Fred, and I've always said, Fred, I see a good player in Fred, I can't see it in Scott. But that last game, I thought Scott was one of the better players. I mean, everyone was crap, so it wasn't hard. But I would like to see Matic and Donny in the pivot. However, I've been told that Donny will be playing higher up because Bruno is suspended. Now, guys, Eric Bailly's also been called back from international duty due to Lindelof's injury, or Lindelof's COVID, sorry. And Bailly and Donny are likely to be involved tomorrow. Well, I've been told Donny's involved tomorrow, so if Donny isn't involved tomorrow, go dislike this video. But I'm excited to see Donny involved tomorrow for tomorrow's match. I think we do need a player like Donny, most definitely. I don't know if Matic is involved. I think Matic could be involved because the formation change is... So United apparently are not going to play at 4-2-2. We're sort of changing formation to a 3-4-1-2. A 3-4-1-2. And it's an interesting formation. And I think you do need a holding CDM, and that could be Matic. It could be McTominay. But I've been told that Fred is also getting dropped, which is good. And actually, I did want to say this, and I said this in my... Donny will come in for Bruno or Fred, but I've been told, obviously, Bruno will be out for the next game, and I've been told that Fred is getting dropped. So we'll have to see if that's the case. But what I mean is, what I like about Ralf Rangnick, and you know what we saw versus Newcastle was very Ollie-esque. The football we were playing was very like the football we were playing under Ollie. But what I did like from Ralf Rangnick was he took Fred off after 45 minutes because, you know, Fred was the worst player on the pitch versus Newcastle in that first half. Fred was absolutely awful versus Newcastle in that first half. And he took Fred off at half time and he said, F that, Fred don't work. I don't need to play both of Fred. It's bloody Newcastle. He took Fred off and he brought Sancho on. And that's what I really liked about Ralf Rangnick, that bravery to take Fred off and put Sancho on and just play with one holding CDM. With Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, if Fred comes off, Matic comes on. With Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Fred will play the full 90 minutes, even if we're a goal down or even if we're playing crap. With Ralf Rangnick, he took Fred off at half time. Those performances Fred put in under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he never got subbed off, he never got dropped for. Ralf Rangnick subbed Fred off at half time and was ready to drop him after that performance. Even though Fred had been really good in our last 5-6 games, Ralf Rangnick saw that was crap. Fred needs to come off. And what I like about Ralf Rangnick, and then if you watched my video yesterday, I talked about Ralf Rangnick's match reaction to the match. You know, Ralf Rangnick obviously reacted to the match. He gave his thoughts on the match. He did a whole match reaction. And he criticised the match. He criticised the patterns of play. He said that we lacked tempo. He said that we couldn't keep the ball well. What I feel about Ralf Rangnick is, and I'm not going to turn on Ralf Rangnick, I'd be an absolute imbecile to turn on Ralf Rangnick after 3 games. What I do like about Ralf Rangnick is, okay, yes, Newcastle versus Manchester United, it was very similar to Ollie ball. There was, you know, it felt the same as watching Manchester United under Ollie, watching us play versus Newcastle. It wasn't a good game. But what I want to talk about this game is, one, Ralf Rangnick took off Fred for Sancho at half time. That's something Ollie would never do. 2, if you look at Ralf Rangnick's post-match reaction and some of the comments he made, he said he wasn't impressed by the performance. He said that we looked disjointed. He said that it was not good enough. He said that we kept giving away possession. We said that we lacked the speed, we lacked the tempo, we lacked the rhythm. Ralf Rangnick identified after the match that we lacked the speed, we lacked the tempo, we lacked the rhythm of Manchester United. When has Ole Gunnar Solskjaer ever said after a Manchester United draw or loss, this tactical analysis of how we didn't keep the ball well, we lost the speed, we lost tempo, we lost rhythm? Ollie hadn't. Ollie was just saying, yeah, it was a poor performance, we'll do better next time. Ralf Rangnick tactically analysed the game, and everything we saw that was wrong with the game, Ralf Rangnick saw as well. And that's why I have confidence in Ralf Rangnick, because we would see that Fred was the problem week in, week out under Ollie, and we'd be saying, why are we playing Fred against bottom of the league, this team, and why are we playing Fred against this team, and why Fred playing after they lost 5-0 to Liverpool when they were both crap? And we would see under Ollie Fred with a problem, and Fred would get 90 minutes, 90 minutes, 90 minutes, 90 minutes. Ralf Rangnick took Fred off at half time. He took McTominay after 70 minutes. I don't think McTominay was that bad, actually. Ralf Rangnick saw the problem. Ralf Rangnick says after the game, we lacked rhythm. We lacked speed, we lacked tempo, the physicality wasn't there, we weren't playing as well as them, the performance was bad. You know, he said we need to get better as a team. And my favourite comment Ralf Rangnick made is said that we need to get better as a team. He said it doesn't make sense to talk about individual performance, we need to get better as a team. Because actually, you know, was that loss on Fred? No, you know, I'm not going to blame Fred for the loss. I think a lot other times we drop points, I go, Fred was at fault. I'm not blaming Fred because Fred was off after 45 minutes. We did get better in the second half when we dropped Fred, let's be honest, but the front four was bad. And what I like about Ralf Rangnick is he's identified that he's not going to talk about individuals, he's going to talk about the team, because we're not playing well as a team, and that is the problem. You know, on paper, Man United have a better squad than Liverpool. Man United have a better squad than Chelsea on paper. We have a much better squad than Arsenal on paper, but they're all better than us right now because they play better as a team. You look at PSG, as I said earlier, Neymar, Mbappe, Messi. That is the best front three in the world right now. Are they playing like the best front three in the world right now in a very much Uber Eats league? No, because they don't play well together. The best front three in the world right now is Mane, Firmino and Salah because they play well together. They play as a team. And it's all about playing as a team. And I like how Ralf Rangnick said that we need to get better as a team. Because if you look at the Newcastle game, you look exactly where Manchester United went wrong. It's in the first half, we couldn't get the ball from midfield to attack. Fred and McTominay couldn't break the lines. They couldn't get the ball to midfield to attack. And unfortunately, Fred and McTominay, as I tweeted, made Joel Linton and Longstaff look good. Fred and McTominay made Joel Linton and Longstaff look like good players. But what Fred and McTominay couldn't do is they couldn't pass the ball from the midfield to the attack. He took Fred off. Ragnick identified at half-time Fred was not working versus Newcastle. So he took Fred off for Sancho. And we did get better in the second half. But what did we do wrong in the second half? Why didn't we win that game? Okay, we used the width better in the second half. We created some chances for Cavani. We looked better in the second half. But what did we do wrong? The attack was not linking up. There's a video on Twitter going around saying difficulty impossible, pass the ball to Ronaldo. And that video, guys, is absolute facts, because Ronaldo was making these runs and no one was looking up, no one was seeing him. Rashford would have the ball, we'd have a few easy passes on and would run in the straight line. You know, as Ralf Rangnick identified, we weren't playing as a team. In the second half, we got better. We used the whip. We gave more service to the attackers. You know, Mason Greenwood came off after 45 minutes, but he didn't see any of the ball. He got no service. You know, at least in the second half, when we took McFred off, we put Sancho on, we changed formation, we played more attacking football. At least, you know, Cavani got service and we got better in the second half. But what was going wrong in attack in the second half? The attack had more of the ball, but we kept giving it away. We kept being silly because no one was reading each other. No one was on the same wavelength as each other. And you remember sometimes when we'd watch Man United play and there'd be Daniel James on the pitch with like Donny, Bruno and Martial. And we'd say how like Donny, Bruno and Martial were doing all these clever sort of 1-2s and intricate play. And then Dan James would get the ball and he would just put a cross in. And it'd be a good cross, but there'd be no one there. And he just wasn't on the same wavelength as them. You know, we'd see Mata and Donny and Martial link up, and we'd see Dan James and Lingard. And Dan James and Lingard were never on the same wavelength as you know, Martial, Donny and Mata. You know, I think there's a bit of this issue at Manchester United. I think there's a slight bit of this issue at Manchester United where there is a lack of player intelligence in Mason Greenwood. There is a lack of player intelligence in Marcus Rashford. They're great individual players, but I think maybe playing under Ollie and Ollie's coaches for 3 years, crucial stages of their development, has caused, you know, the players to become less intelligent. I don't know, but there is a lack of player intelligence. There's a lack of playing as a team. And I think we all knew that, you know, Ronaldo, Greenwood, Bruno and Rashford as a front four was never going to work because they're all quite selfish players. Who's going to be doing the 1-2? Who's going to be making the runs? Who's going to be the creator? That's why we needed Jadon Sancho to create chances. That's why you need Martial to do those quick 1-2s to link the play. You know, because we couldn't even keep the ball. That's why you almost need someone like Donny van de Beek to be able to keep the ball. I love Bruno Fernandes, but he's given the ball away about 1,000 times in the last 2 games. And what I like about Ralf Rangnick is he's identified we gave the ball away too much. We weren't playing as a team. The tempo, the rhythm lacked, the pressing lacked. Ralf Rangnick identified Man United weren't playing the way he wanted them to, identified what was going wrong, losing possession, lack of rhythm, lack of transitions, lack of pace to the ball. He knows that. Fred comes off at half-time because Rangnick went, look, Fred ain't working. They're not breaking the lines. You know, in that first half, the attack got no service. Greenwood and Ronaldo, they didn't do anything wrong in the first half because you couldn't get the ball to them because Fred and McTominay just couldn't get the ball to the attack. He takes Fred off for Sancho, we improve. But the attack doesn't link up. And that goes back to my point, how I've always said, as a United fan, Mane, Firmino and Salah is better than Neymar, Messi and Mbappe. Neymar, Messi and Mbappe are better individuals, but the better front three is Salah, Mane and Firmino because they play well as a team. And Ralf Rangnick knows you've got to play well as a team to be a good team. Because do Arsenal have a better squad than Manchester United? No. But if you look at Arsenal right now, they all want to be at Arsenal, they all want to play at Arsenal, and they all play well as a team. They're not selfish. Do you think all these players at Manchester United want to be at Manchester United? No. Do you think all these players at Manchester United are playing as a team? No. There's a big attitude problem at Manchester United, and I do want to talk about that as well. Please do smash a like on the video, guys, if you have not already, and of course subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. Any chats, any questions for me, please do pop them down in the live chat as well. You know, Daniel says Ollie Gunnar Solskjaer's usual post-match thoughts would be well. I thought McTominay was fantastic. The lad kept on running, which was fantastic. You know, the difference between Ollie and Ragnick is Ollie would say this player was fantastic. This player kept running, but it wasn't good enough. Ragnick said we lacked speed, we lacked tempo, we lacked transitions, we kept losing the ball, we weren't playing as a team. Ragnick said what we saw. Ragnick took Fred off for Sancho at half-time. You know, Ollie would have played Fred for 90 minutes. And I've been told the lineup versus Brentford could be very, very different with Donny set to start. And the one thing is, you know, if we were under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, that exact lineup basically would start the next game. You know, if it was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we would play like that versus Newcastle, and that exact starting 11 would then play our next game against Burnley. We know under Ralf Rangnick it's going to be a different starting 11. The fact that he's called Eric Bailly back, the fact that Donny is set to start tomorrow, you know, the fact that, you know, Fred could be dropped, the fact that Bruno can't play, you know, there's going to be a different lineup tomorrow. You know, we could see different players play as well. And I think that is something that is really, really interesting. Can we get Ndidi? I'd absolutely love Ndidi. And as Paul says, guys, please do keep smashing the like button and subscribe to Alice Talks Football if you're new. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news and more, please subscribe down below. I'll be live tomorrow for a Manchester United versus Burnley watch along and match reaction. I do daily Manchester United content and live streams on the channel, so please do subscribe if you're watching and you're new to the channel, by the way, guys, as it is very, very much appreciated. But I've got a story I want to get in. I've got something I want to discuss. And this is basically Ragnick going to try a new formation. It's been told by The Athletic, and I briefly talked about it yesterday, that we are going to change from the 4-2-2-2 to possibly a 3-4-1-2 or a 4-1-3-2. And what I want to do, guys, is I want to share my screen with you guys and sort of show you what we did versus Newcastle and show you exactly what we're going to be doing. So let me just remove this banner. So this is what we did versus Newcastle. This is how Manchester United played in the first half versus Newcastle, okay? So this is what we did in the first half versus Newcastle. But in the second half versus Newcastle, we changed formation. We brought Cavani on and we brought Sancho on. And I did this in my match reaction, but I'm just sort of doing it again because I want to get into the lineup for the next game. And then the second half, in the second half versus Newcastle, we played like this. We changed formation to a 4-1-3-2 in the second half versus Newcastle, and we played a little bit like this in the second half versus Newcastle, and it was better. And maybe as an excuse for the players, maybe the 4-2-2 doesn't suit the Manchester United players. Maybe the 4-2-2 doesn't suit the Manchester United players because it doesn't use wingers, but it also doesn't use a centre midfielder that Bruno is. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't. And, you know, The Athletic is saying that Ralf Rangnick, one of the reasons he's brought Eric Bailly back and stopped him flying to the Ivory Coast is because he now wants to involve Bailly in the next game. He now wants to change formation. This is what we did in the second half versus Newcastle, and this was a lot better. So I just scrolled down to read it. I just saw a chat that I wanted to read. If Ralf took Fred for Sancho, he took out Greenwood instead of Rashford after 2 weeks. The midfield weren't able to pass the ball, crediting the Chancellor. I will have to say one thing. I think that Rashford should have been subbed off. And my one criticism is that Marcus Rashford should have been subbed off versus Newcastle. And thank you very much, Stain, for the super sticker. Probably laughing at Manchester United because we're shocking. Saying, look, Manchester United are a better team than Arsenal, but Arsenal have better attitude and they're playing like a team. I love to banter Arsenal, but I will not banter Arsenal right now. As much as I want to banter Arsenal, as much as I want to shut Zayn up, I can't, because Arsenal, they might have worse players than us, but they're playing better football, they're playing better as a team, and they're better to watch. You know, I'm watching Arsenal, I'm going, only if Smith Rowe was Greenwood and Saka was Elanga. Imagine watching your youth players score and bish, bash, bosh. You know, Arsenal are actually playing well. United have a 10 times better squad than Arsenal, but we're playing crap. And I will talk about the leaks that's come out about players. There's leaks at Manchester United that have come out about players complaining Ragnick's training is too hard. And what I hate is that players are literally complaining that Ragnick's training is too hard. And I'm thinking, if you earn 100k a week and you're complaining that training goes on till 5 and you don't like training at 5 because it's dark, you are the problem at Manchester United as well. But guys, please do smash a like on the video if you have not already and subscribe to Alice Talks Football if you are new. What I do want to do is talk about the lineup versus Burnley. So basically, this is what we did in the second half versus Newcastle. And we got better. As I said earlier, we did this in the second half versus Newcastle. We changed from a 4-2-2 to a 4-1-3-2, and we did get a lot better. Bruno, I think one of the reasons we got better was we did not need to play Fred versus the low block of Newcastle or the low block of Norwich. And I think one thing that Ragnick's learned in his first couple of weeks at Manchester United is, because you've got to remember, Ralf Rangnick's only input on the squad came from Ollie and McKenna. So for all of those going, oh, Ralf Rangnick started Fred because Fred are clearly the best we've had. No, Ralf Rangnick was starting McTominay and Fred in the midfield because he got all his impact from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and McKenna. He got all his input from Ollie and McKenna. Ralf Rangnick has probably realised when you're playing a low block team, Scott and Fred are useless because Scott and Fred can't break the lines when you're playing a low block team. Because Ralf Rangnick took Fred off at half time, and in fact, Bruno dropped into a deeper role. Now, Bruno Fernandes was playing out of position, and Bruno Fernandes wasn't brilliant, but we were better in the second half, and the attack actually got service. Cavani actually got a few chances. Rashford actually got a few chances. We were better in the second half because at least Bruno can pass the ball from midfield to attack. Fred couldn't. McTominay couldn't. You know what I mean? And Ralf Rangnick noticed that. So this is what we did in the second half. Now, the predicted lineup for Manchester United versus Burnley tomorrow is actually Manchester United to change to a back five. We apparently, and this has been reported by numerous sources, I've been told that Donny will start tomorrow, but what has been reported from numerous sources is that United will be playing a 3-4-1-2 tomorrow. Now, obviously, the elite lineup I got last week was spot on, but this isn't 100% elite lineup. I've just been told a couple players will start, but I haven't been given elite lineup. I just want to throw that out, so don't listen to me. But reports suggest it could be this formation, okay? Reports suggest it could be this formation. It will be a sort of a 3-4, sort of kind of like this kind of formation, a 3-1-4-2 or a 3-4-1-2. So it's kind of more of a, so it's sort of a back three, I'd assume. Now we could see Luke Shaw as left centre back, to be fair, but yeah, this is sort of, let me get this up. So this will be the formation we're playing. I am going to change the players because Rashford, Sancho, and Scott, yeah. So this is sort of the formation that apparently we're set to change to. But it's going to have Donny van der Beek in here, Scott in here, and Sancho. That's right. I think this is right. There is reports. This isn't, by the way, this isn't elite lineup. This is a predicted lineup of the information I've been given. Just want to throw that out. But there's reports that we are going to change to a 3-4-1-2 against Newcastle tomorrow. Against Burnley tomorrow, and Donny van der Beek is going to start. Okay, so we know Donny's starting. That's one thing I've been told, and if that is wrong, I apologise. I've just been told this from my source that gave me the lineup for the last game, and hopefully it's correct. I can't promise you that, but going off what the Athletic said, Manchester United are set to try a 3-4-1-2. And considering the fact that Eric Bailly was at the airport and has been told he's needed for this game, makes me believe the reports and rumours that we're going to change formation to a 3-4-1-2. Now, we could change to a 3-4-1-2, but it might be, a different back three. It could be Luke Shaw, Maguire, and Bailly. We know that Lindelof's out, we know that Bruno's out, and we know that McTominay is a doubt. It could be a completely different. It could be a completely different back three, but there's reports and suggestions that Manchester United could be changing to this formation, which is obviously what Ralf Rangnick has done in the past. Now, the 4-2-2 Ralf Rangnick did do at RB Leipzig, but we know more recently Ralf Rangnick has adapted to a 3 at the back with this kind of thing. And we did this. This is sort of what we did in the second half versus Newcastle, but obviously we played a 4-1-3-2. We played a 4-1-3-2 versus Newcastle instead of a 3-4-1-2. It's sort of what we did in the second half versus Newcastle, but with 3 at the back for that more stability and all of that. Guys, please do smash a like on the video if you have not already, and subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, and more, make sure you smash a like, make sure you subscribe, and all of that. Someone has just said Phil Jones, lol. You know what? It's funny with Lindelof out with COVID. Phil Jones was actually on the bench for our last game, and we had to play an injured Varane or Phil Jones. And I will say, look, Varane wasn't very good versus Newcastle, but let's remember Varane's played about 1 game in the last 3 months. Varane is not matched up. So for the people that were going in on Varane, going, Varane's rubbish and all of that, I was just like, are you idiotic? If we didn't play Varane, we'd have to play Phil Jones, which it just wouldn't make any sense to me. Like, why would you play Phil Jones, who hasn't played in 3 years, over Varane? And I thought it was idiotic. People were complaining. Guys, please do smash a like on the video if you have not already. And, of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates, and more, please click that subscribe button. The January transfer window opens in 2 days. And considering the crisis that Manchester United are currently in, it looks like Manchester United will be spending some money in the January transfer window. We are linked to strikers, we're linked to CDMs. It's been reported today from Fabrizio Romano that Dennis Zakaria will leave Borussia Mönchengladbach in 2022. And Fabrizio Romano has reported that 2 English clubs are interested in signing Dennis Zakaria. We do know again from Fabrizio Romano that Manchester United are interested in Kamara. And there was another source, and I can't remember what the source was, we'll have to double check that reported that United could use Martial in some kind of swap deal to get the CDM Kamara. There was also news about, obviously, Julian Alvarez to Manchester United, and reports from Italy saying that we'd made a bid for the striker, however. And there was even reports from Argentinians saying that we were in, talks for the striker as well. And I will say it's going to be, I'm not going to say it's going to be a busy transfer window for Manchester United. I'm not going to say that. but there could be a lot of ins and outs in January. Now, Manchester United, I believe, will not sign anyone unless we sell anyone because, you know, the Glazers, common sense, and that's what the Glazers do. But I get the impression we could be bringing in someone in January and could be selling someone in January. When Kamara is available for as little as £10 million and the pressure for top four is on and we need a CDM, boom. When Cavani is going to go in 2022, when Martial is going to go in 2022, and if we don't get top four, Ronaldo is going to go in 2022, we need for a striker, Julian Alvarez, it feels all. So do keep an eye on that. And so basically what I wanted to say is please smash a like on the video. And of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new, because I will be doing a watch along for Manchester United versus Burnley tomorrow, but I'll also be updating you on all the latest January transfer ins and outs. If someone leaves Manchester United or if Manchester United signs someone, I'll go live straight away. So you guys are the first updated on who leaves and who joins in January. I've got a question from Kimez Feek that said, who turns on Ragnick? Now, this is something that I was sort of rambling on about, but I actually want to talk about this. Players are turning on Ragnick at Manchester United already. Ragnick's not even been here a month, and some players at Manchester United are turning on him. It was reported from Chris Wheeler that the Manchester United players are struggling to adjust to Ragnick's later training sessions and left in the dark at 5 p.m. on Tuesday. A Manchester United player has gone and leaked this news to the press, to a journalist. That is a disgrace. And this Manchester United player's problem is that they have to train at 5 p.m. on Tuesday in the dark. I don't know who the Manchester United player is, and we don't know who the Manchester United players are. If I was going to take a guess, I'd assume it's someone that's probably not playing. Dean Henderson, Wan-Bissaka. I don't know who it is. It might just be someone really irrelevant. Do you know what I mean? But there's a Manchester United player, or could be players, that are complaining that Ralf Rangnick's training sessions are too hard. And this is a disgrace. You play for Manchester United. You earn hundreds of thousands of pounds a week playing for Manchester United, and you're complaining that training sessions go on to 5 p.m. and you don't want to have training sessions at 5 p.m. because it's dark. You're saying that the training sessions are too hard, they're hard to adapt to. People will go to those training sessions for £10 an hour, let alone 10 grand an hour, what some of these players are bloody making. It's an absolute bloody disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. There are absolute big attitude problems at this club. They've thrown 3 managers in a row under the bus. 3 managers in a row have been thrown under the bus by these players. And you know what? Maybe we have to give Ollie and Solskjaer a little more respect. Maybe we do. Because you know what? Ollie was protecting those players. And we saw once Mourinho left, it was the players. Even though they had that good bounce under Ollie, it was the players. We said once Ollie's left, it's the players. Because it doesn't matter what manager you throw in front of those players. There's still certain Man United players complaining, not wanting to be there, complaining training's too hard, complaining training's too long, having a lazy attitude. And this is a big problem at Manchester United. There's a big attitude problem at Manchester United, and these players that have thrown 3 managers under the bus, there are some players in there that need to go. They need to go because they are causing a problem. Do Arsenal have a better squad than us? No, but why are Arsenal playing so much better than us? Because they're playing as a team. They're playing for their manager. They want to be there. These Manchester United players are complaining that training sessions are too hard and they go on till 5 p.m. It gets dark at 5 p.m. Some of these Man United players have no work ethic whatsoever. They've thrown Ollie under the bus. They're now throwing Ragnick under the bus. They have no shame. Ragnick hasn't even been here a month, and one Man United player is already complaining and throwing Ralf Rangnick under the bus. That is an absolute disgrace. That is an absolute disgrace. Some of these players need to go because there's a big attitude problem in this dressing room. Some of these players think they're better than they are. Some of these players think they're too good to play for Manchester United, and some of these players are lazy and will not work. And you know what? Maybe Ollie's caused this problem. Maybe how technically incompetent we are is because of Ollie and his coaches. But one thing Ollie did was he always protected his players. And I reckon Ollie had a harder job than we think. Ollie had some very good players, but with some very bad attitudes. And before people go and blame Ronaldo, they go and blame Bruno because they whinge and they storm off. This is nothing to do with Ronaldo and Bruno. I will put money on that this is nothing to do with Ronaldo and Bruno. I guarantee that Ronaldo and Bruno are 2 of the hardest working players on the training pitch. They want to go to training. They're there early. They train extra hard. They want to win. You know, Ronaldo and Bruno aren't the issues. And there's a lot of media hate towards Ronaldo and Bruno. As soon as you can blame Ronaldo for something, as soon as you can blame Bruno for something, people are on it. You know, Ronaldo, Bruno, they're not the issue. You know what? I don't think Scott McTominay's the issue. I don't think Scott McTominay's a brilliant player. but he works his arse off, and every manager likes him. There's probably a reason for that. You know, let's be honest. But there are certain players right now at Manchester United that have an attitude problem, that aren't working hard. You know, and we can maybe guess who those players are, but I don't even think it's Paul Pogba. I think he wants to leave, but he's not been part. You know, I don't think it's Paul Pogba. You know, people will say it's Martial. I don't think it's Martial. I know it's not Ronaldo. I know it's not Bruno, and I guarantee it won't be Scott McTominay. But there are some players in there that need to sort themselves out and need to leave Manchester United, because you're playing for Manchester United and you're paying hundreds of thousands of, you're getting paid hundreds of thousands of pounds to play for Manchester United. How dare you be earning millions and millions of pounds a week and complain that the training sessions are too hard and you have to train in the dark? Like it just makes no sense. It just makes no sense whatsoever. I just think it's a disgrace. Let me know your thoughts on that. And if you agree with me that's a disgrace, smash a like on the video. Diego says we only need 137 likes for 300 likes. So keep smashing that like button, guys. Let's go for 300 likes on the video as well. Alice talks sense. This is my favourite YouTube pundit. Love you, Alice. Thank you very much, Edward. I need a drink of water. Someone says, come on, Ronaldo's going to be 37 next birthday. Emil Smith-Rowe has 21 and scored more goals than Ronaldo. I don't think you can compare Smith-Rowe scoring more goals than Ronaldo as a flex to Smith-Rowe, because Ronaldo is 37. Do you know what I mean? And SS16 says, is Ragnick focused on pressing, that he's not focused on basic training drills, or is he experimenting tactics such as formations, which is just temporary until he finds a niche? This is an interesting comment. I just think that Ralf Rangnick's training sessions are very different to Ollie's. And I think it doesn't take a genius to figure out that Ralf Rangnick's training sessions will probably be very different to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's, because, you know, if you look at how Ralf Rangnick talks about a match, and if you look at how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer talks about a match, Ollie goes, well, I think Scott worked hard. I think Scott played well. Ollie will go, oh, they gave it their best, but, you know, it just wasn't working. Ralf Rangnick said right after that Newcastle game, we kept giving the ball away. We weren't playing as a team. The tempo lacked, the rhythm lacked, the decision-making was poor. We lacked that rhythm as playing as a team. You know, Ralf Rangnick identified everything that was wrong. And at halftime, Ralf Rangnick identified Fred wasn't working and took Fred off because Fred was crap. You know, Ralf Rangnick, I think, is a very different manager to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because, you know, Ollie would never take Fred off at half time. You know, Fred's putting these performances under Ollie, he'll play full 90 minutes. Ragnick took Fred off at half time. Ragnick and Ollie are very different managers. And I can imagine Ragnick's training sessions are very different to Ollie's training. I reckon Ragnick's training sessions are more intense. They're probably more focused on pressing. You know, he's more of an attacking manager. And I admit it's a big change for the Manchester United players. They've been playing under the Ollie way for 3 years, which, you know, no one really knew what the Ollie way was, but it was quite sit back, long ball counter-attack. They've got used to 3 years of sit back, long ball counter-attack. And all of a sudden, Ralf Rangnick wants them to be constantly running, passing the ball quickly and moving it up and down. And I understand there's a very different way of football under Ralf Rangnick, and it's going to take time to adjust. But I think it's an absolute disgrace that after 3 weeks of Ralf Rangnick training, certain Man United players are complaining the training sessions are too hard. You play for Manchester United. You earn hundreds of £1,000s a week. How dare you complain that training sessions are too hard, you absolute imbeciles. That's how I feel about the situation. You know, David Moyes says, I know people who work 9 to 5 for 7 days a week in their local grocery shops, despite having horrible hard jobs. Yeah. I mean, literally, people will do more hours in a grocery store than these Man United players do on the pitch and not complain about it. You know, I misread your comment, but I know what you meant. It's just idiotic, and maybe the training session's different and all of that. But of course it's going to be different. But you're professional footballers. You adapt to the environment. And I think the fact that certain players are trying to throw Ragnick under the bus after 3 games, it just shows there's a big attitude problem at Manchester United. You know, they've thrown 3 managers under a bus. And I think the problem maybe is the players. I think we've protected the players. I'm someone that protects the players because I know how good these players are. I love Manchester United, and I protect the players a lot. I dig at McKenna, I had a massive dig at Phelan. I've had a massive dig at Ollie because I know how talented these players are. But, you know, when I think about it, it's been 3 managers where they've done this for. And I think maybe it is the players. Maybe we've got to stop protecting the players, because there's definitely a slight attitude problem within the players. Guys, please do smash a like on the video if you have not already. And of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you are new. If you do want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news updates, and more, smash a like on the video and subscribe down below. I will be live tomorrow night for the Manchester United versus Burnley watch long, and then I will do a match reaction after Manchester United versus Burnley, doing my analysis and match thoughts on the Burnley game. Hopefully we get the 3 points versus Burnley, and with the January transfer window coming up, I'll be doing videos on who's going to leave and who's going to join Manchester United throughout January and keeping you up to date with that. So do subscribe to the Manchester United fan channel, Alice Talks Football, for daily Manchester United news. For some reason, my chats aren't loading on my StreamYard, so I'm going to have to read the chats off a different thing, which is annoying. Oh, no, now they've loaded. For some reason, my chats are glitching on my StreamYard. SS16 says, by the way, if we're playing with 3 at the back, how much do you trust Maguire to be a solid defender and screw up? I think Rudiger wasn't a very good defender, but playing 3 at the back suited Rudiger, so I think maybe it will benefit Maguire, if you want my honest opinion. I think Harry Maguire shouldn't be Manchester United captain. I think Harry Maguire should be dropped, but I don't think Harry Maguire is actually a bad player. David said, we almost lost against Norwich. We conceded that lucky goal against Newcastle. If it weren't for De Gea, we could have lost 5-1. Won't be surprised if we lose tomorrow against Burnley. What do you think? Look, I think we've got to get a response. We've got to get a reaction versus Burnley. And I think these players owe Ralf Rangnick a reaction. I think these players are better than how they're playing. I think these players think they're better than they are. But I think these players might get a reality check. And I think we will win versus Burnley. I think we'll win versus Burnley. I know Burnley's a bogey team, but we're at home. I think there will be a lot of some different names getting opportunities on there. And at the end of the day, I think we should win. And we won't have Bruno tomorrow. We won't have Lindelof tomorrow. McTominay is a doubt for tomorrow, and Pogba is out tomorrow. But hopefully we should. Who should be captain instead of Maguire? Ronaldo. You know what? I tell you what. I don't trust Harry Maguire. I don't know what it is with this club loving Harry Maguire, but he shouldn't be Manchester United captain. I think Harry Maguire is the type of player to go and complain that Ralf Rangnick's training sessions are too hard. I think that Ronaldo should be captain because Ronaldo is the hardest working footballer ever. Like that, we can't disagree with that. Ronaldo is one of the hardest working footballers there's ever been. And personally, I would rather Ronaldo be captain than Maguire. Smash a like on the video if you don't think Maguire should be Manchester United captain. What I do want to read out is some more comments that Ralf Rangnick made today regarding the Newcastle game. So Ralf Rangnick said this. Ralf Rangnick said, Paul says, sell Maguire definitely in summer. Guys, do you agree with Paul? Should we sell Maguire? I'm actually really interested to know your guys' thoughts on this. So do get this down below in the live chat. Do you agree with Paul that we should sell Maguire in the summer? Or do we keep Maguire, give him a fresh start under Ragnick and see if he finds form? Are you sell Maguire or you keep Maguire? Let me know down below in the chat as well. But who would we buy if we sold Maguire? Maybe Koundé, but he's going to Chelsea. But back to what I was going to say. Ragnick said that our problem versus Newcastle was that we allowed too many transitional moments. And this is not the only problem. It's been a problem for the whole team. What Ralf Rangnick said is it's not a problem of the centre-backs, it's the problem of the whole team. Ralf Rangnick said the whole team were at fault versus Newcastle. Ralf Rangnick said, he thinks that we couldn't play as a team. We can't play as a team. A lot of people are saying sell Maguire in the chat. The majority of you guys seem to sell Maguire. I think, I play Lindelof by Amberan over Maguire right now. I personally myself wouldn't sell Maguire. But I think if he doesn't find form, then I would look to sell him. But I would, but I think most people are agreeing with Paul that we should sell Maguire. Let me know in the chat, would you sell or keep Maguire? And all that. But Ralf Rangnick came out and he protected Rafael Varane and said, look, he's not match sharp. He protected certain players, saying, I don't think I can blame individuals. I think we weren't playing as a team, which was good. And an interesting thing is apparently Cavani asked not to start because Cavani wasn't match fit as well. But yes, guys, please smash a like on the video if you have not already. And of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you are new. So my talking points of today's video was my Manchester United versus Burnley predicted 11. It's been reported that Donny will start tomorrow versus Burnley. Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully that's true. It's also been reported that we will play a 3-4-1-2 formation. So being told apparently the formation we'll be playing and being told Donny will play, that is my predicted lineup on the screen. Bailly has been called back from international duty because he needs to be used for this Burnley game. Lindelof, Pogba, Bruno are out for the game versus Burnley, and Scott McTominay is a doubt. What Manchester United did in the second half versus Newcastle was very similar to what you see on the screen, but it was a 4-1-3-2, and I think we'll be looking to use more width. I think, actually, guys, what I will say for the Burnley game is I actually think we could do something maybe a little bit like, I don't know, actually. I think maybe Shaw, but I think we could maybe see something like Maybe Greenwood. I think we could see something like this, to be fair. A little bit more attacking. I think we could maybe see something like that, actually, to be fair. As Diego says, for all the best Manchester United watch-alongs, do subscribe to Alice Talks Football. Josh says, keep Greenwood and build a team around him. I agree. I think once Ronaldo goes, Greenwood's our future. I think Greenwood's an absolute baller and all of that. Maguire should have been stripped to captaincy after Greece. Maguire should have never been captain in the first place. He got captaincy after 6 months. Like, let's be honest. And Ritvik says, hi, as I think selling wouldn't be realistic, but lowering the standards by allowing Maguire each game is unacceptable. This is a really, really good comment actually here. I think, you know what, I'm on the fence about selling Maguire because I don't think he's actually a bad player. But I think, you know, we should be dropping him. We shouldn't be giving him this favouritism. We shouldn't be giving this captaincy because he hasn't been good for a while. Lindelof's been better. Bailly's been better. Varane's been better. I think the situation with Harry Maguire is, yeah, we shouldn't be allowing him this special treatment. We're lowering the standards by letting him play, and I think that's a very good swap. Donny defo ain't starting. I mean, Donny might not start. I just got told that Donny was starting. I've been told that Donny's starting, and I trust that person that told me Donny's starting. So he might not start. I'm not a genius. I don't know, but yeah. What academy players do we have? Anyone like Saka or Will Smith-Rowe? Could anyone be promoted? Well, we've got Greenwood, who I think is better than those two, but they're obviously better in current form. Alanga's a good player. Amad Diallo's a good player. McNeil's a good player. Hugo's a good player. Sholatiri's a good player. Hannibal's a good player. I do think with the way we'll go, and we should think about giving some young players a go. I'm generally all for giving Hannibal Mejbri some minutes. I'll tell you that now. You know, we have Hannibal, Alvaro Fernandez, Alanga, Sholatiri, but many of them will not get enough minutes. Exactly. With the way we're playing, I'm all for giving the youth because there's players at Manchester United that should be playing that are not playing. So I 100% agree. I loan Maguire to Newcastle with some fee. If he improves there, get him back in the summer. Yeah, I don't think... I mean, Newcastle will probably take Maguire, but fair enough. Another thing I want to talk about is something I saw on Twitter, and someone summed up our squad, and they said the problem with Manchester United is that the squad is so disjointed. It's crazy. There's zero cohesion on the pitch at all. What happens when you buy players for their name without a clear plan on how they fit into the team? And I think I've sort of sat here and I've gone, you know, maybe these players have thrown Ollie under the bus. Maybe it wasn't Ollie. But I think Ollie has put us in the situation we are in. I like Ollie. I respect him. But I think Ollie maybe puts us in the situation that we're in because Ollie's brought these players because of their names. They're good players and he's put them all on the pitch together. And when we're watching Ollie play, there wasn't a style of football that Ollie tried to play. You know, okay, watching Ragnick's last 2 games, there hasn't been a style of football, but we know from Ragnick's press conference and we know from Ragnick's match reaction how he analyses the game and he identifies everything that's wrong and how he tries to change it in his subs. And we know how Ragnick wants to play because Ragnick has a track history at other clubs. With Ollie, he brought a load of good players and it was like Ollie had chucked these good players on the pitch and said, go out and do it. And these good players couldn't play together because they weren't coached or trained how to play together. And I think because these players were living under the coaches of Ollie, Phelan and Fletcher, and I have to say one thing about Fletcher, isn't Fletcher like a technical director? Why is Fletcher on the pitch giving orders? That's weird. But these players, it's like they've just been brought without a plan. And I think almost when Ollie brought these players, he didn't have a plan. Because let's be honest, with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he literally neglected the CDM position all 3 summer transfer windows he had. We had 3 summer transfer windows where we needed a CDM. And Ollie neglected it every year to buy the big names. You know, he was more obsessed that if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was in charge and we got offered Declan Rice to Erling Haaland this summer, you go with Erling Haaland, but we need Declan Rice more. Do you know what I mean? And I think the problem was Ollie neglected that CDM position for so long, and he brought loads of good names, but he didn't have a plan to play on the pitch. And these 3 years training under Ollie, these players haven't learned how to play together. And I think that's one criticism I give Ollie. But one criticism I won't give Ollie is I do believe there's a problem with some of these players and that these players threw Ollie under the bus because these players did throw Ollie under the bus. And I do feel sorry for Ollie for that. I don't think Ollie was the right coach. I don't think Ollie was good enough. You know, Ollie's style of playing was sit back, ball over the top. And I think these players did throw Ollie under the bus. But I think one of the situations we're in right now is these players were brought without a plan. And Ragnick's got loads of good individual players that can't play together. You look at Pochettino at Spurs. He's got Messi, Neymar and Mbappe. But PSG aren't actually that good. They have Messi, Neymar and Mbappe, but they don't track back. They don't play together. They don't work well together. You know, I would rather have Mane, Firmino and Salah than Neymar, Mbappe and Messi because one plays better as a team, one are better individuals. And I think the problem at Manchester United is we have better individuals than Arsenal. Arsenal play better as a team. We have better individuals, I believe, than Liverpool. Liverpool play better as a team. We have better individuals than Chelsea. Chelsea play better as a team. And football is a team sport. And where we're lacking is we've got so many good individuals that can't play together. And I really like how Ralf Rangnick said it wasn't individual players, we weren't playing well as a team. Because I think Ralf Rangnick's identified we do not play as a team. And this is where we're going wrong. We do not play as a team. And I can't remember the last time we did play as a team. We haven't played as a team since lockdown Manchester United. You know, maybe it's because Matic is done and we're lacking that CDM and we can't win the midfield, so it makes it harder. Maybe it's because Greenwood, Rashford, and Ronaldo are all similar and they don't work together. You know, some players don't work together. You know, everyone goes, oh, Ronaldo and Bruno don't work together. It's not Ronaldo and Bruno, but Greenwood and Ronaldo, I don't think work together because they're two of the same players. You know, there's some players at Manchester United that just don't work together. And for me, that's the problem at Manchester United. We're not playing as a team. And this is why I said earlier in the video, I want Martial to just be given one last chance because we know with Martial he can link play. Greenwood doesn't do that. Rashford doesn't do that. Martial can. And we need someone that's going to link it all up, keep the ball. And I would really like to see Martial and Donny given a chance. I've not put Martial in my predicted starting 11, although I think he deserves a chance just because of all of that. But I think to sum up the players, you know, lazy and bad attitude with some players at Manchester United who are throwing managers under the bus. And these rotten egg players that don't want to be training after 5 because it's dark or complaining that Ralf Rangnick's training sessions are too hard, get them out of the club. I think absolutely get them out of the club. There's an attitude problem with some players at Manchester United and they're throwing managers under the bus, and I think get them out of the club. Guys, please do smash a like on the video if you have not already. And of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and stuff, please do subscribe. Paul says he's still confident that we'll finish in the top 4. I've got a question for all of you guys. Do you think Manchester United are going to finish in the top 4? Where are your predictions for Manchester United to finish this season? Do you have confidence that we're going to finish in the top 4? Or do you think we're going to bottle it? Because if we don't finish in the top 4, that'll be Ronaldo gone. That doesn't take a genius to point out. If we don't finish in the top 4, we could be in trouble. I think we will get top 4. I have confidence in Ralf Rangnick to turn it around, and I think we have one of the best squads in the league, and we should get top 4. And I'm going to put confidence in us to get top 4. But I am a little bit worried. Because if we continue the way we're going, you know, could barely beat bottom of the league Norwich, needed a penalty to beat bottom of the league Norwich, and should have lost to Newcastle. It was our goalie that kept us in the game. I am worried because this team is so good, but the reason we are not, we should be bottom half of the table. If David De Gea wasn't being the best goalie in the world this season, we would be bottom half of the table. Let's be honest. And I do worry that we might not get in the top 4. I do worry, a little bit about that. I think Ronaldo shouldn't be captain if he'll be egos of the young players. I think Ronaldo should be captain because I think he's got the best attitude. He's an ego, but I think he's got the best attitude. I think Ronaldo's got the best attitude. And Reece says that Ragnick should stick with his system anyway and just force the bluffers that cannot be asked out the door. His system isn't the issue. He should stick with it. I agree. However, I think when you look at the Man United squad, I don't think we suit the 4-2-2 because it doesn't use wingers and Bruno's not as good as that wide. It's a mixture of wingers and creators. I think Ragnick should stick to the way he wants to play, but maybe a different formation. But I agree, if the players can't adapt to Ragnick's system, then, you know, and they're not willing to, get them out. You know, it's going to take the players a couple of weeks to adapt to Ragnick's. It's going to take the players a couple of weeks to adapt to Ralf Rangnick's situation and all of that, of course. But if they're not willing to put the effort in and try and adapt to the situation, then drop them. If any Man United players aren't willing to put the effort in, get rid of them. Please smash a like on the video and subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you have not already. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates and more, smash a like on the video, smash that subscribe button as well. We're 25 subscribers off 26.2k, so please do subscribe down below to the channel as well. United have no chemistry. Everybody wants to be the start of the team, and that's why there's a lot of selfishness. This comment absolutely hits the nail on the head. I absolutely love Manchester United, but we really lack chemistry right now. We're not playing as a team, and that's absolute facts. I mean, I have respect for Ronaldo in his age. He's still a good athletic and stuff, but the question is he good enough to build a future team around? Absolutely not. Why was he brought? He was brought to win us trophies, and Ronaldo's the fact that we're still in the Champions League. One thing I do not agree on is fans blaming Ronaldo. Ronaldo, he's old, but we had a good team that came second. Let's not forget, we came second last season. We brought Varane, we brought Sancho, we brought Ronaldo. When you came second last season, you thought bringing these 3 additions would win you a league or challenge you in the Champions League. Ronaldo came to be that final piece of the puzzle to lift the mentality of the squad, and win us trophies. Ronaldo, every single goal Ronaldo scored is an equaliser or a winner. Ronaldo scores clutch goals. Ronaldo's the reason we didn't get knocked out of the easiest Champions League group. Ronaldo's the reason we're still in the Champions League. And if we win the Champions League, we might as well engrave Ronaldo on the Champions League. We don't deserve to engrave Man United on the Champions League. We deserve to engrave Ronaldo and David Gea, because if we win the Champions League, it's down to those two. And Ronaldo's come here to win us trophies because, to be fair, we have a good team. We're just not playing like a good team. We came second last year. We have a good team. Ronaldo's come to add to that and win us trophies. Unfortunately, we're not playing like a good team. And Ronaldo's a striker. He can't do it. It's all he needs service to score goals. But you know if you give Ronaldo the service, he will score. And you know Ronaldo can win you games. All he needs is the service. That's what Ronaldo offers you. 100%. He's a brilliant player. He's only here for a year or two, but he was here to turn this decent Manchester United squad into a Champions League winning squad. Unfortunately, this decent Manchester United squad in recent years has absolutely crumbled. Unfortunately, we have a really, really good United squad, but they've absolutely crumbled. We came second last year. We've got loads of good players. We signed Ronaldo. We think, boom, squad crumbles. Maybe it's because we need a CDM. Maybe because there's players in the squad that aren't, good enough. Maybe we think players are better than they are, or maybe these players are just not playing to the best that they can. But let's be honest, Ralf Rangnick, I put trust in him that he will fix the situation. I said at the beginning of the video, Ralf Rangnick has identified what was wrong. He's not afraid to make changes. I think he will find a solution. I think he'll fix the problem. And Ronaldo has never been the problem at Manchester United. Ronaldo's here to win us games and score goals. Ronaldo needs service. Ronaldo's 37. He's not 25. He can't run it around and do it. It's all he needs service. But he's here to come up in the clutch moments and win us games. And in those knockout games, Ronaldo will be there. If you want my honest opinion, where do you think Man United will finish? Some people saying 5th, 6th, 4th. I think we'll get 4th in the end, but I think it will be a little bit difficult as well. Guys, smash a like on the video if you have not already, and of course subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. If you do want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates and more, make sure you're smashing that like button, and of course make sure you're subscribed, because we will be live tomorrow night for the Manchester United versus Burnley watch long. So do make sure you smash the like on the video, and do make sure you're subscribed to stay tuned for the Manchester United versus Burnley watch along. So Jules says sell all the winge bags and get the academy players and they will do better than this. Honestly, if it continues the way it is, I'm all for giving Alanga, Solitarian that game time, because at least they want to play for Man United and impress the manager. These players gave Ollie a 12-game manager bounce. They gave Ragnick 40 minutes versus Crystal Palace and gave up, because some of these players are lazy. We have a great team with lazy players, and that's the problem at Manchester United. Lingard and Van der Beek should play tomorrow. Lingard's attitude is, I love Lingard, but he just wants to collect money from Man United. I don't think he's serious about game time. I think Lingard just wants to collect a wage at Manchester United. I really, really do. I don't think he's serious about getting game time or any of that. I just think he cares about the money now, because he surely would have gone in the summer. Maybe Ollie lied to him, but he's got an opportunity to leave now, and he'd rather leave as a free agent in the summer, because he'll get more money. He'll get a better deal. And I just think that's silly of Jesse Lingard. I think that's really, really silly. But I think Van der Beek should play, and I think Lingard deserves a chance, but I think Lingard can be a bit selfish. Cesar says United have no chemistry. Everybody wants to be the star, 100%. And De Gea is the only player in the team that has been performing every game. Ronaldo wants out of this country. I will not criticise Ronaldo. He's been our second best player after De Gea, but Ronaldo needs service. He can't do it. He's 37. And nothing will change under any manager, because half of these players are not good enough. Fred, McTominay, Maguire, to name a few, are useless. And this guy says the thing about Ronaldo is the squad had to be built around him. Bonucci said this. I don't think Man United are planning on building a squad around Ronaldo, because he's 37 though. But I think Ronaldo coming in makes it harder for the likes of possibly Greenwood. Alice, do you have any merch that your fans can purchase? I actually do, actually. If you go to Alice Talks Football, this one. If you go here and you go store, boom, boom, boom. We've got merch. We actually do have merch. This is my favourite one. I didn't want to do images because I didn't want to get copyrighted, but this is my favourite bit of merch. Martial isolated skirtle here. Oh yes, welcome to Manchester, Anthony Martial. So we do have a little bit. We do have a little bit of merch on the channel. We've got this Martial shirt, which unfortunately I'm gonna have to wait shit. We're promoting the merch now. I haven't actually promoted the merch. It only came out a couple of weeks ago. But this is my favourite bit of merch. There we go. Martial isolated skirtle here. Oh yes, welcome to Manchester, Anthony Martial quote. It's just like iconic Manchester United quotes. Unfortunately, Martial will be leaving, but there is merch on the channel. So big up the merch promotion. Thanks for that. And let me get through a few more things. Top 4 is possible. Yeah, I think we should beat Arsenal and Spurs for top 4, but who knows? And as Daniel says, over 400 watching, so make sure to subscribe to Alice Talks Football, and of course, smash that like button. Yes, guys, please do subscribe, because 8 p.m. tomorrow night I'll be live. 8 p.m. tomorrow I'll be live for the Manchester United versus Burnley watch along. So do make sure you subscribe. And any questions, by the way, if I didn't answer any of your questions in today's video, I do apologise. So any questions I didn't answer in today's video, I do apologise. But I will be doing a watch along to Manchester United versus Burnley tomorrow, and in my watch along I read out a lot of live chats and you know, watch it with you and get your thoughts of the game. So any questions to me that I haven't answered in today's stream, I will talk about in my watch along tomorrow, which will be at 8 p.m. tomorrow. So do subscribe for that, and then of course I'll be live after the match for a match reaction as well. We need Michael Carrick back. This formation 4-2-2, never seen it before. I mean, I wouldn't take Carrick back, but Carrick's been our best manager to date. He's the only one that's been unbeaten, so big up Michael Carrick. And Bruno is suspended, so Donny will start. And apparently Fred's going to be dropped, or one of them, Fred's going to be dropped. I tell you this, guys, clip this, make me look like a mug. Ragnick will not start McFred tomorrow. He'll play one of them, but not both of them together. I think Ragnick sussed out already that what Ollie and McKenna have fed him about McFred is probably a load of crap, because he subbed both of them off versus Newcastle and Fred off at half-time. I do not think McFred will be starting in the pivot tomorrow, because it's Burnley. We've got to break them down. They don't break down teams. I think Donny will play. I think maybe one of McFred will play, but I do not believe we'll see McFred tomorrow. But yes, 8 p.m. tomorrow, I will be doing the watch-along, guys, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And Alice, what formation do you think suits Man United the most? Well, look, if I could do any formation at Manchester United, I would do the 4-3-3. Look, my ideal Manchester United starting 11 will be De Gea in goal. I like Wan-Bissaka, but right now I think you have to go with Delo at right back. I go with Varane and Bailly as the centre-backs, although Lindelof has been very good, but I just like Bailly's pace. I put Luke Shaw as left back. I'd have Donny and Fred in the midfield with Bruno ahead of them. And then I'll have a front three of Sancho, Greenwood, and Ronaldo. That would be my ideal Man United starting 11. I would say Martial, but he wants to leave. Do you know what I mean? It would be Martial, Ronaldo, and Sancho, but I think I'll go with Greenwood. That would be my ideal front sort of 11 at Man United. Let me know yours. But yes, please do smash a like on the video, guys. Please do subscribe to Alice Talks Football if you're new. But I'm going to end the live stream here, guys. So I apologise to anyone if I didn't answer any of your live chats. Alistair says Cavani. If we did 2 strikers, I'd put Cavani in, but he doesn't suit a 4-3-3. He'd be my super sub off the bench, though. Please do smash a like on the video if you have not already. And, of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. I will be back 8 p.m. tomorrow for the Manchester United versus Burnley watch-along. So make sure you subscribe with the post notifications bell on to stay tuned for that. Subscribe, like, see you tomorrow for the watch-along and match reaction. And, yeah, thanks, everyone, for getting involved. See you then. Bye.